Okay, today we're going to do Unit 5, notes number 15. So these are our calculator applications. So with these, we're going to be graphing these in our calculator, and we're going to be identifying information about that quadratic function on our calculator. So I'm going to specifically tell you what we're going to practice, what buttons we need to press on our calculator to get the information the question is asking. So the first thing we want to do, it says graph the following. So we're going to type this function into our calculator, and we're going to get our table to graph it. So in my calculator, I'm going to type in y equals, I have -2, and then in parentheses, x minus 4 squared, and then plus our 5. So remember, graph will give you what the graph looks like, but we need our points to graph it. So we hit second graph, and that'll give us our table. I've said this multiple times. Make sure you can always use your up and down arrow to get some points that you need. So we're going to start at 2, -3. And then we have 3, 5, 3, 3. Okay, so we're going to graph those points. So 2, -3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, and then 6, -3. Okay, so that is what our function looks like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sketch that. So we draw our x and our y-axis, and it looks like it comes up and then back down. So that's what it's going to look like. Now you're probably like, okay, what does that x mean? So this is where we put our information of like what our window dimension is on our graphing calculator. So this is your y max. This is your y min. This is your x min. And this is your x max. Okay, so what that means is on your calculator, you have a button called your window. You have an x min and an x max, and you have a y min and a y max. This tells you like how many on your above your origin, how many y values it goes up. So it goes up to 10, goes down to -10, goes to the left -10, and goes to the right +10. So on this one, our min is -10, min is -10, our max is 10, and our other max is also 10. Normally that'll be like that unless we have to change it. Do our graphs match? Yes, we made sure of that. Okay, next. How to find the vertex on your graphing calculator. So we are going to actually do something a little bit different. I want you guys to scratch out this function. We're going to use the same one as we did from above. That way we can write it on our graph. Okay, so that is already in our calculator. So we don't even have to type in something else into our calculator. So what I'm going to do, that's in our calculator. So we need to hit second trace. So on your calculator, we can go back to our graph. We're going to hit second, and then we're going to hit trace. So next you want to go down to, you're going to have to look at your graph on whether you want to find the max or the min, because your vertex on whether it's the min or the max is going to determine which value you pick. So on this one, our vertex is at the top, so we're going to use our max. If our vertex was at the bottom, we would choose min. So max, we're going to go down to 4. We're going to press enter. Now, on your graphing calculator, down here on the bottom, hopefully you guys can see what I'm pointing to, it says left bound. So we need to go, we're going to use our left and our right arrow, and we need to find that cursor. Mine's coming up. Okay, so I want it to the left side of the vertex. Once it's on the left side, I'm going to press enter. Then it says right bound, so I'm going to bring it to the right side of the vertex. Once I get it to the right side of the vertex, I'm going to press enter. I don't want to guess. I want the actual vertex, so I'm going to press enter again. And this is going to give me my vertex. So my vertex is 3.9, 5. So on my paper, I'm going to write that down. So that vertex is 3.9, 5. So that is how we find our vertex on our graphing calculator. So we're going to practice that a couple more times on the back. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so this one says a ball is thrown and followed a path described by y equals negative 0.2x squared plus x plus 3. What is the maximum height of the ball thrown? So you guys, that max height is going to be your y value at your vertex. So we are going to have to, what is the first thing that comes? This should be vertex, because we always look at our vertex for the max and the min. So we're going to put this in our calculator and find that vertex. So in our calculator, I'm going to pull up my calculator. Y equals negative 0.2x squared plus x plus 3. So, oh my. 0.2 x squared plus x plus 3. Okay, try this again. Let's hit graph. Hit the wrong button. This is what my graph looks like. So I'm going to sketch that. I did not have to change my window because I can see the entire graph. So on this stays the same with our min being negative 10 and our maxes being a positive 10. I'm going to draw my x and I'm going to draw my y-axis on my sketch. And I'm going to pull up my calculator. It looks like it comes up at negative 2, goes up, and then comes back down. So it comes up and then comes back down. So this just has to be approximate, you guys. Mine is not the best, but that is what it would look like. So we have to find our calculator to find the max. So whenever we go to our calculator, this vertex, since it's at the top, this is going to be a max. So we're going to hit second trace. So on our calculator, second trace, we're going to go down to the max. We're going to press enter, and then it says left bound. So we want to make sure that cursor is on the left side of my vertex. So I'm going to press enter. Now it says right bound. So I'm going to go to the other side of my vertex. I'm going to go to the right side. Press enter again. Enter. So my max is my vertex is 2.5, 4.25. So I'm going to write that down. I already forgot it. Okay, so what is the max height? So this is your max height. So 4.25 feet is my max height of the ball. I'm going to also write that right here. Wow, wrong thing, guys. 4.25 feet. So anytime we are talking about height, you will always look at your x or your y value of the vertex. That will tell you your height. Okay, so now I want to ask you another question. So let's see. We're actually going to skip this question in its entirety. Okay, what is it important to know if we are trying to find how long the ball was in the air? So if it said, so whenever we're trying to figure out how long the ball was in the air, that's talking about our x. So we need an x-intercept or our x value. So this one specifically, so this question says after 1 second, how high was the ball in the air? Please write that question down because this is going to be important. So this is talking about our seconds. This is my x value, okay? So there is a way in your calculator where you can put in that specific x value and it'll give you the y value. So I kind of put it right here. It says second trace and then value. So in your calculator, You're going to hit second trace. Values number 1, you're going to press enter. We want that x value to be 1 because it says after 1 second. So I'm going to press an enter in 1. And it's going to give me exactly what that y value is at 1 second. So at 1 second, it was 3.8. So how high was the ball? It was 3.8 feet in the air. So if it gives you a specific x value, you can put that in your calculator to get that answer. Okay, let's go down and do the last problem. Mrs. Mariani is standing on the first floor and trying to throw a water bottle onto the second floor. The balcony is 24 feet high. The bottle follows the trajectory h equals negative 16t squared plus 39t, where h is the height of the water bottle in t seconds after being tossed upward. Sketch the graph and answer the following questions. Okay, so we need to put this function into our graphing calculator and get it graphed. That's the first step we need to do. So I'm going to pull up my calculator. Y equals, clear what's in there, negative 16 x squared. You can use x instead of t, and plus 39x. Get that in. I want to look at my graph. You guys, I can't see the top. So that top means my y max needs to go up. So I'm going to go to my window, and I'm going to change my y max. I'm going to change it to 25 to see if we can see it. Yes, so at 25 feet, I can see, or at 25, I can see it. So that's going to change a couple things whenever I'm putting my stuff on my paper. So the first thing is first, this stayed negative 10, and this stayed negative 10, and this stayed positive 10. We changed that y max to 25 so we could see the top. So then I'm going to take that information. So since my x-axis moved down a little bit on mine, I don't want my y-axis or my x-axis completely in the middle. I want it a little bit further down on my paper. So y is still down the middle. Now your x-axis is about right there. So that line came up and then went back down. So it came up and went back down. Wow, that's not the best, but you guys get it. Okay, so I need to find that vertex. So we hit, that's a max. So second trace, go down to max. Want it on my left side, it's on the left side. And then I want it on my right side. Press enter again because we don't want to guess. Did I do something wrong? Yes, I did. Second trace, max. I'm sorry, you guys. Left bound, enter. I hit the wrong thing. Right bound, enter. Okay, my max is 1.218, comma 23. So 1.21. 23.76. Okay, so remember, this is my seconds and this is my feet. So does the water make it to the balcony? So the balcony is 24 feet high. It made it 23.76 feet. There's sort of no, because only went 23.76 feet high. Okay, next one. How high was the water bottle after 0.5 seconds? So remember, 0.5 is our x. So that is our x values. This is where we got to do a different trace function in our calculator. So we do second trace. You're going to go to value. So press enter. And then it says 0.5 seconds. So we're just going to type in 0.5 for our x. Press enter. So at 0.5 seconds, it was 15.5 feet in the air. So 15.5 feet. Okay, I am done with these notes. If you guys have any questions or want to practice this more, please let me know because this was the first time we've really utilized our calculator in identifying these points. So if you need a little extra practice, just let me know. Let me know if you guys have any questions.